everybody, it is Calxiyn here. You guys may be surprised to see what's going on right now, because we have uploaded 4 videos this week. Yes, I had a video that was not a paid Patreon video that I've wanted to do.
You know, cats and dogs living together, raining blood, end of the world, this is the shit. We've done 4 videos in a week.
I know.
Recorded on the same day. That's why you're just watching me play through with
the
Nora.
same with Nora.
Yeah.
So this is something interesting about the Nuckelave in the RWBY Volume 4 crew commentary. So this is a Volume 4 DVD. It came out in like June, so I'm surprised that this didn't like spread faster. But let's read it together and then discuss it. So on the V4 crew commentary, they talked about something that wasn't really talked about much in the director's commentary, how exactly the Nuckelave works. They said that the Nuckelave is 2 separate Grimm that have been fused together. It's a combination of some kind of Grimm that they keep referring to as an imp. Additionally, the Nuckelave divides its power between the horse and the imp. They can't be fully functional at the same time. That is why sometimes the imp will go limp. Try to say that.
Imp will go limp.
When the horse is walking or galloping, and why the horse often stays stationary while the imp is attacking with his arms. You noticed that, right?
Yeah. That
That it did do things separately. While they can both be active at the same time, the horse and imp become stronger if the other half isn't doing anything. So that is basically the gist, right? But let's talk about a couple things. Somebody brought up in the Discord that what does the imp look like unseparated, right? And that early humans may have thought that Faunus were these imp Grimm.
Yeah.
Because they had horns and stuff like that. And so they saw horns and then they saw like a humanoid person and they said danger, danger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so
that makes more sense about like, because you get the idea that maybe like Grimm evolve, and so like there's ancient Grimms that are not as known, and the Nuckelave could be one of those Grimm.
Mm-hmm. And then somebody else mentioned, Lucis Notori. That is the song where, Merlot is singing. Somebody in the comments said that they think it's interesting that 2 separate Grimms are fused together because either he did it or it occurred naturally in the wild, basically. That Merlot may have done this.
Which means that they produce, or they were just, like, swamped. Did 2 Grimms fuck? We don't know.
The imp is interesting if there are indeed humanoid Grimm out there. Unfortunately, there's not a lot about imps in folklore. That also can't be applied to fairies or goblins. So that
Goblins!
That may justify why early humans fought Faunus as a type of Grimm. They'd see imps and misidentify them.
You think it would have been like, ow, fuck, no, I'm not a Grimm. Do I look this black?
But early humans, I don't know, like, early humans. Well, people said the Nuck looked like it was in deathly pain by just existing. That's probably why.
That's what really made it creepy, is the fact that it sort of twitched to life and then stopped and always looked like it was in seething agony.
So some people are basically debating whether this is natural symbolis, or if the Nuckelave is one of Salem's personal creations.
I guess if you're like an immortal demon, that's kind of like what you do to, you know, entertain yourself.
I mean, it could also be Merlot, right?
I guess so.
But
his stuff looked more green, right? Like
I mean, in the game, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to think of this. I thought this was very interesting information. That is why I wanted to make a video on it as soon as possible.
Yeah, it is kind of cool, because I never
considered that, right?
Then I just really like commentary. I don't know. I'm surprised we haven't sort of ripped that.
I mean, we haven't seen it because we don't have the DVD yet.
Yet. You heard our first review of it. Now for our second.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think it's very cool. I think it's very cool that they decided to kind of explain this. So I wonder what the imp is like when unattached from the horse. If it's fully humanoid with legs, that would be the first humanoid Grimm in the show, right? And I think that's interesting, too, is that when they decided to make humans, right, the gods, they decided to make humans together if the gods were still a thing, that the gods maybe took inspiration from the humanoid Grimm that he made first. He said, oh, this has 2 legs and, like, looks alright. You know what I mean?
That's a really fucked up version of Genesis.
And so that's what I'm saying. Maybe he was like, oh, you know, we'll take your part, right? We'll take your part of the light god said to the dark god, we'll take your, like, design, the it part, and we'll change it up a bit.
Here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I want to put a little of my pizzazz in it. What if I made it Satan?
Apparently, in the manga, there is some kind of fusing Grimm. That's interesting. And now this person is linking to Murder of Bird statuses. There is a tentacle grim that confines and fuses with the king
I've seen a tentacle grim on fanfiction.net,
yeah, so
but it was used for greatly different purposes.
I'll put this thread in the description. You guys can look at it, but there's a tentacle grim that connects with the snake thing and makes a hydra, basically. So, do you want to see this, Hunter?
Ooh, that looks creepy.
So, maybe it is something that just happens in the wild, right? But still, that means there are imp grim out there, you know? Yes. Yeah, and I don't know, I really like this. Also, somebody said something about Mr. Meeseeks as a grim confirmed in the comments, and I thought that was funny.
Look at me!
I know.
Oh, I would love Mr. Meeseeks.
The problem is, if they had shown the imps before, it would have taken away somewhat from the threat, as if they would have to survive it, and the experience of having a new grim type turn up as the essentially end season boss. So I think that's what they're saying, that somebody else said that they wanted to see it before, but I like how it's placed right now. So yeah, I don't know, I really like it. I really like it. As for lore, I don't know, like we talked about, it is the Nuckelave, right? That is where it comes from. But as far as stuff like splitting from each other and imps, I don't know anything about imps. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't know, I just thought that this was interesting and I wanted to share it with you guys so you guys knew. But yeah, if there's already a grim in the manga that fuses together, then maybe the fusing is just natural occurrence and it just does that sometimes. So yeah, Hunter, like, what do you think about what we've talked about?
I mean, it's definitely canon. I don't know. I would like to see more, like, fused, creepy grim in the future.
Could you imagine just, a bunch of Beowulfs attached to each other? Like in
a big pile?
Like, in a circle.
Like what? Like
like, all of the spike part, basically their backs are all turned to face each other, and they're just one big, entity, almost. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That, like, the back side of the grim is fused together, and then all of it, like, it basically has hands all around. So basically, like, a hydra, like a body that has multiple heads, but they're the Beowulfs.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Can you imagine that? Do I have to draw you a picture?
That would be creepy.
That's what I'm saying. What do you think would be a creepy grim if you want to see something fused together?
Okay, so there was something, I don't know if you've ever played, you probably haven't played the game. It was Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and there's a boss in it, which is just a bunch of zombies in this horrific,
when we continue
mass.
to play Kingdom Hearts 2, you will see what true nightmares look like. Because some of the bosses... Hunter says that's pretty much the only thing he likes about Kingdom Hearts.
Wow, I just got nuked.
Yeah, you did.
So in that, there's this really interesting boss battle that when it's basically just this big ball of twisted zombie limbs, and you jump up and you hack at it.
I think that's cool,
And as you hack at it, the zombies fall down, and then you slowly sort of get, for lack of a better word, I suppose,
also, I feel like for the grim, something interesting, I guess, something interesting about them is that the fused one would be that, sorry, I need to think of what I'm trying to say here, because I don't know how to explain it. That in the middle of the woods, right, just imagine, Ruby is walking in the middle of the woods alone, she's looking for someone is lost, she sees a humanoid figure in the distance, and she's like, Weiss? Because that's how she talks. And then this imp thing, like, its hands extend and, like, grab her by, like, the neck or something like that. And it's not. It looks humanoid, but it's dark, and so she can't see that it's actually an imp grim. Like, there are so many possibilities to have a grim that doesn't look humanoid enough that it's, I don't want to say it's cliche, but that doesn't look humanoid enough that it ruins the essence of what a grim is, but also looks humanoid in shape. You know how, like, sometimes, surfers, like, they'll have, surfboards, right? And, the shark will think that they look like seals, like, from above the water. That's kind of the idea, that they're different enough that it doesn't seem like it's ruining what is human and what is grim, because we don't want grim that look exactly like humans, right? We want grim that kind of would be like, if we're humans, they kind of look like early, like, before Neanderthals, like, whatever's before that, you know what I'm saying?
Homo erectus, maybe?
Yeah, like, something, like, that look ish human, but like still very far removed from human beings, right? That's kind of my idea, is that I don't want them to look exactly like humans. I would be happy if it just had horns and like a human shape, you know, and basically kind of looked like demonic. Right?
So back to my thing is that it was.
Oh,
this
sorry,
big,
were you saying something?
Yeah, I was.
Oh.
It was this big glump of zombies, and it was horrific because as you whacked at it, like the bodies would fall off, and so you'd be flooded by cadavers.
Oh, now I remember. I'm sorry.
And I like the idea of maybe something like that, where it's this horrific mass of maybe what you're talking about, those humanoid-like Grimm, that are, you know, they're like Grimm, but human enough that it's disturbing when you see large swaths of them.
Dang, man, that's deep.
And as they whack away, they crawl. Something horrific. Because the Nuckelave fight, I was kind of like a little bit, you know, I felt a little bit down on it. I think a lot of people did. But but what I really loved about it is that how creepy it was, how it shuddered and moved and was, like how you mentioned, like it always looked like it was in severe pain. That was distressing, and that always sort of creeped me out. So if it did something like that, where you're hacking away at this big, horrific, like, amorphous blob, you know, I'd like that.
Anyways, yeah.
It would give me nightmares, but no
I
more
like
so
the
than that.
idea of Fuse Grim, and I like the idea of Imp Grim. Like, I just like what's happening. I think that what is happening is good and pure and fantastic. That's basically all I have to say. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It was just kind of a news video, I guess, because this is kind of news, like somebody discovered this recently. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you enjoyed getting an extra video this week. And yeah, that's basically all I have to say. So I hope that you guys tell me your thoughts about the imp thing, and we'll discuss it. And we will see. I have no idea what I'm gonna title this. And I'll see you guys later.
Facts about the Nuckelave.
Bye-bye!